spirit, universal presence, whatever you call that which is greater than yourself, is all that we need to know, all that we need to get this thing up and running. Okay then, all right. Yeah, all right. And that we are individualized expressions of the one, and so therefore connected to all and everything. This is my favorite topic, love, because I believe and know that love is powerful and it is all that we need, and it will break down any walls or perceived walls that you may encounter. And so that's what we are. What we believe is that we co-create our lives because we are individualized expressions of the one love. We get to co-create our lives in every moment of our lives. In every moment, we get to change our minds and do something new and bring something new, different into our lives. And so that is the power that we know we all have, not just us in this room, everyone. And thank you all for joining us, that those of you who are joining us on Facebook, who are joining us from our website. We appreciate you being here. We will be talking about some affirmations, and those are on the Facebook page, so you don't have to worry about trying to remember the things that I'll be talking about in terms of affirmations that I'm going to ask you to do later when you know, at home. It's already on the website, or it's already on the Facebook page. So, and for those of you in the room who leave your papers or whatever, you can find it again on today's message for the Facebook page. So what we know for sure is that our words are creative. So we must speak what we seek into the universe. Speak what we seek into the universe. And in order to see what we speak, what we want to have happen, we have to be clear about what it is we are speaking. So it's all about clarity, speaking our word into the universe, knowing how powerful our thoughts and our words are as we're co-creating our lives. That's what we know. And that's all we're doing here, is teaching how we do that when we leave here today and every day of the week. How do we live in that way? How do we draw to us the life that we want? And how are we representative of the love we believe in, the connection we know is true? How do we live that every single day? This is the living spirituality. This isn't a Sunday morning spirituality. It's an everyday, all day, 24/7 spirituality. And we get to tap into it consciously anytime that we want to. We are connected all the time. But we consciously decide what we want to do and who we want to be every day of the week, every moment. We get to do that. And so that, to me, is very powerful. So last week I talked about what will you do? Because we know that spirit shows up, that God answers prayer, that a prayer is simply a demand on the universe with clarity, what it is that we want. I desire, I choose. We just speak that clearly. That is a prayer. There's no beseeching or begging or, oh, if I do this, will you do that? There's none of that. You just speak your word into the universe and that happens. And prayers are always answered. So that's what we know for sure. And so we talked about that last week. When you know that for sure, then what will you do? Because it's not magic. As we speak our word into the universe, there's action that is needed on your part. We co-create. So there are things that we have to do ourselves. And we walk towards the light that we see. Whenever we ask for something, something shows up and shows us the way. Well, it's not going to just pick you up and just start flapping your wings for you. You've got to start doing some things yourself, right? So what will you do? Once you ask for something and it shows up what is yours to do, that's my favorite thing to say, what is mine to do? You can ask yourself that all the time. In any situation, what is mine to do? Because yours isn't to do everything. God is working through, Spirit is working through, Presence is working through all of us. Everything, all the time. And so the question you want to ask, so that you can be clear about what it is for you, is what is mine to do in every situation? So that's what we do, and that's all we're talking about there. Today, I want to talk about love. Because God is, to me, the highest synonym we have for God is love. God is love in action. Love in action is God, Spirit, present. George is what I call it. Talk to George all the time, every day, asking all kinds of questions. What's going on? And so what I know for sure, we're going to tear down these walls. We're going to love one another. Unconditional love is the only love that'll do that. Because it is nothing but compassion and caring for someone else without regard. Just loving and caring for others. That's what unconditional love is. And we do that with everyone we see. And the question people ask is, how do you do that? How do you just, everyone you meet, how do you show unconditional love? So I'm going to share some things that and it's not, it's something that you work on. It's something that evolves. It's something you decide on. You decide to see that in everybody else. But here's what you're doing. The presence of love in you is seeing the presence of love in someone else. Regardless of how they're showing up, the behaviors that may be happening, you're talking spirit to spirit. You're talking love to love. That's what you're doing. So you're looking past what the behaviors is and right into the heart of who you know them to be. I remember when I first started working with you guys in Harmony Spiritual Center over on Pennsylvania, and I'd go around, as we do, we go around in the morning, we see each other, hey, how you doing, how's it going, how's it going? And I was talking to this one woman, I think it was after the service was over, and I walked up to her and I said, I'm not going to call her name because you guys know her, but I said, hey, how you doing? And she's like, I hate that. What do you mean? I hate when you ask that. I said, why? She said, because I know you can see the truth, so I can't lie. and we all can. The point is that you can see the truth. But just because you see the truth doesn't mean there's something wrong with that. If I see the truth, like I called my sister, so my sister and I speak, either text each other. Usually we speak on the phone pretty much the first of the week, all the time, just how the weekend go and how you're doing. So this past week, she texted me around 10, and we usually talk about 8 or 9 maybe before the day gets going. It's about 10. She just texted me and said, hey, I got this message from the family reunion, and I'm not sure what they're doing, so we'll just stay in touch. I'm like, that's interesting. Why did she text me? So I picked up the phone and I called and I said, how you doing? And so her little voice, and she goes, yeah, I'm okay. And I said, okay, well, I understand. I understand exactly what's happening, so call me when you want. And she said, okay. So at the end of the week, she calls me back and she said, yeah, I couldn't talk to you because I knew you'd know something was going on and I didn't want to start crying because she was in a bad place. Just because I can see the truth doesn't mean I'm going to ask you to talk about it. I'm just saying I'm with you. I empathize. I get it. And sometimes we're not ready to face the truth. We know it. We know it's there. But facing the truth means there's something you might have to do. There's something you might have to admit or own. And you know it's there, but you're not ready for the work it's going to take for you to get it done. Okay? And that is okay. So seeing the truth in somebody doesn't mean we call it out and go, oh, I can see where you go ahead and talk to me now. It's not, come on now. That's not what we do. We just acknowledge, I see you. I'm here and available. It's up to you, whatever you want to do. We all see the truth. We see the truth, and we as a courtesy, we don't call it out. We just let people say what they want to say. Say what you want to say. Everybody knows the truth. We know the truth. And it's okay. We love you anyway. Do you understand that? Anyway. We love you and we see you. So that's what I want you to know. That's what we do. That's what unconditional love is. It's compassionate. That's what compassion is. I see you and I see you're not in a space that you're ready to talk about it. That's fine. Or be here. That's fine. It's your life. I'm here when you're ready. If you should become ready. You may not ever get ready. It's okay. It's okay. It's your life. So that's what we do. So what I want to talk with you, I want to share some stories about what unconditional love does. And one of the things that I'm going to talk a little bit later about, you talked about, you're going to be doing this meditations. And meditation, we absolutely must create a meditation space, prayer and meditation time, a daily prayer and meditation time, and develop your relationship with Spirit so that you begin to experience what that's like. The more, it's like having a relationship with your friends. Now, if you have a relationship with, you call someone your friend, but you haven't seen them, then there are some friends that are distant, so you don't see them all the time. But you call somebody a dear friend, but you haven't seen them for 6 months. You haven't thought about them. You haven't called them. You don't really have a relationship with them, right? To have a relationship with someone, you must relate, speak, talk, share. And that's what we want to do with Spirit. We can wait until there's a trauma and call upon Spirit. Spirit's going to answer no matter what time you call, no matter when in your life you speak or demand something with a prayer. But why wait? Why not speak with Spirit every single day so that Spirit walks before you, the light of God walks before you in everything you're doing and speaks to you? I honestly feel like I've got a headset on everywhere I go. And I'm talking to someone and God said, no, don't say it. Whatever you're thinking about saying, leave it. Right? This is not the time. This is not the place. Whatever. I'm getting this headphone talk in my head all the time because I speak to Spirit every single morning. I can't not. I feel empty without it. So we want to begin to develop this relationship by having a practice. And I'm going to talk about some affirmations, the power of I am. The power of I am affirmations. I'm going to talk about that. And then the gratitude prayer after you say the affirmations. And we say this daily. Daily will put you in the place of calling on Spirit for every single thing that you do. Now, so what does unconditional love look like? I've got a couple of stories about what that looks like. So when I first moved over to Thailand from Vietnam, because I wanted to start a band, right? We've talked about this. And I was at this place called Opus One. I couldn't remember what the name of it was earlier, but it just popped in my head now. It's called Opus One. And it was the first nightclub that my band and I got to play a regular gig. And it was a lovely little cigar bar. You know, it had a great chef, so wonderful food, little cigar bar out on the balcony, and we played music. So we're there, me and the band, and this woman walks in. Her name is Kim Upanachai. She's a dear friend. She lives in Australia now. She was living in Thailand at the time. She walks in, she has a whole entourage behind her. She has all these people, and they're just walking in. They go over to the cigar bar, and they've got drinks, and they're smoking cigars, and they come and dance in front of the dance floor, in front of the band, you know. So when we're finished, we're going on a break. So she comes, hey, come join us, you know. Out. So I go out and I join her and meet her, and she introduced me to all of her friends, and she says, "So where are you living?" And I said, "Oh, I'm living." So Phuket is broken up, and it's like California. It's a long island, and so you have the north, the middle, and the south. And so I said, "Where do you live in?" She said, I said, "Oh, I'm living in the south. I'm living, you know, down where, I can't remember the name of the place I was, but it's down south." And she goes, "Oh, no, you're not living there." I'm telling you, the first time I met her, and she said, "Oh, no, you're not living there. You're a musician, and you need to be up here. So here's what we're going to do." She's talking like me. So I go, "All right, well, what are we doing, homegirl?" And she said, "Here's what we're doing. You're coming up and staying with me." On the weekend, I'm going to have my assistant go look around for, how much can you spend on a place? So I told her my budget was, okay, yeah. We'll have my assistant go look for some places up here for you, and you and I go take a look at some stuff on Saturday. And I said, well, all right, fine. So I called her, and I said, hey, I'm on the way up. She goes, I'm here. I'm waiting to get up here. Let's go. So we went. We found a wonderful place, had a little garden and all that stuff. So she said, I'm going to bring my assistant over. We'll paint. What color you want it? We'll paint it, the inside. She didn't know me from anyone. We were friends from that day, the moment she met me, forward. We are still friends now. She didn't even have any children at the time, and now her son is 9 years old. Okay? That's how much we know each other, and we write each other, and all this kind of thing. That is what it looks like. You just see love wherever you go, and you are open. Now, I could have resisted it, and I could have said, who the heck? Who are you? You don't get to tell me. But I saw and felt the love of this woman. That's what it looks like. You just walk in and show up as you, loving people and telling them, I see you. Here's what we're going to do. I did that. I told you guys about that cruise where the woman she'd lost her phone. Oh, no, she'd lost her purse, which was in her phone. And she was hoping that her husband had found it. Or, you know, that it wasn't at the shop. She'd gone back to see it. It wasn't at the shop. She's hoping her husband found it. And then some other guy in the line said, oh, no, people are horrible, and it's probably gone. And I said, excuse me, pardon me. That is not my experience. And so I turned to her and I said, here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do. We are going to say right now that someone on this boat is going to find your purse and turn it in to Lost and Say that with me. So she said it, and I said, all right, so your purse is as good as found. You'll have it before you leave. I saw her when we left the boat, and I said, hey, did you get your purse? She goes, I did. It showed up. So, and actually it turns out that her husband had it. But either way, okay, you just know the truth. And you speak to people like you love them, like you know them, like you see spirit in them, and you're talking spirit to spirit. And I'll tell you something. When you speak truth, people know the truth. They hear it. They feel it. They know it. That's what we get to do. That's what we get to do. So the takeaway from knowing that is that unconditional love is benevolent. It's unselfish concern. Unselfish concern. This woman, Kim, she had nothing to gain. She didn't know me. She had nothing to gain. She was simply helping me. She knew what the island was like, and she knew I was too far away from where I needed to be. All of my gigs ended up being central and north. Nothing was in the south. And in fact, what was in the south were drunken expatriates. That's drunken expatriates who lived in the south. So, right? So all this, so she was right, and she shared that with me. So that's what we get to do. That's what we get to do. And I want to say that caring and being concerned about someone else doesn't mean that you don't have self-concern. Like, you are also concerned for self, right? You're unselfish, but you do have concern for yourself. You do take care of yourself and love yourself as well. Because how do you love someone if you don't know what love looks like? Meaning you don't know how to love yourself. That has to happen as well. So that's part of what we do. We love ourselves, and then we're able to love others. A healthy perspective really is the foundation of joy and happiness. That's from the book of Joy, a healthy perspective, which means we get to go into a situation and change our perspectives. We get to decide, I am going to look past what is showing up for you right now, in you right now, that's behavior. I'm going to look past the behavior and into who I know you actually are, which is one. We're together. You are love. You are spirit incarnate. You are an individualized expression, and I'm going to choose to see that and love you despite how you are showing up right now. How many of us have had to do that with family members? I'm like, not you. But seriously, I mean, I think that family is here for us to learn. Family is here for us to learn. They're the one. It's easier to walk away from a stranger or friends than it is to walk away from family. It's still going to be your family. You can try to walk away, but they're always going to show up at some family gathering, and you're going to have to deal with it. And you have to deal with it. They're the ones who show us and teach us lessons in our lives. They really are. They're here for a reason. So I want to go ahead and talk about, I had another story about someone, but I'm not going to do that. I want to talk about, how does it work? How does it work that we love unconditionally? That was the thesis for my doctorate, was the transformational power of unconditional love. Transformational power of unconditional love. So I love to talk about it. So I love to be it and do it and live in love. And what it does, it transforms a situation. And what I know, I think I said this a couple of weeks ago, I was talking about my niece who was upset with her father. And she was saying, he's not spoken to me, in a while. And I said, well, I didn't say anything to her. I said, okay, that's fine. But in my mind, I was thinking, because she wasn't asking any questions, she was just telling me stuff, so I didn't give her any advice. But what I was thinking was, have you said hello to him? Have you said hello to them? So one of my sayings for myself every single day, when I do affirmations, and I'll share with you what the affirmations are, be the first to love. Be the first to love. Let love lead in everything you think, say, and do. Let love lead. So let the light of God walk in front of you to show up for you in every situation that you're in. Let love lead. Then it becomes easier to love other people, because you're already setting an intention to love, to see love. And if you walk in and you're not quite seeing love, you can change your perspective. One of the things that we talked about, or that's in the book of Joy, is how you have happiness and joy and all that, is to look at whatever. We're very myopic, and we're only looking at the pain that we're in. But if this is a situation, look at this whole global way of looking at it. There's a lot of different ways that you can look at it. And one of the experiences, and so I want to ask you to do this now, and I'll share with you the experience that I came up with. Just think about an experience right now that you've had, that you called bad. Is a bad experience. It doesn't have to be a trauma, it doesn't have to be traumatic, but just an experience that you thought was bad. And once you have that in your mind, I want you to think about what good came from it. Because I can guarantee you that everything that happens in your life, there is good that comes from it. Okay? And that is a change of perspective. It's not saying the thing that happened wasn't negative, but it's also looking at what was the learning? What did you learn? What good came from that? And the thing that I came up to for me was that, and it was traumatic, is that the releasing of a long-term relationship to finally declare it was over. That was painful and difficult and caused a lot of grief. But I can tell you now, from this perspective, looking back on it, there has been a tremendous amount of good. I have come to myself. I have found myself. I have discovered things that I'm capable of doing I never knew I could do. Never. And if I'd stayed there, I would never have known it. So there's always, always something good, a change of perspective, a change of perspective. So and I want to leave you all the time with action steps. The greatest power we have to manifest our life comes from the love. It comes from the love of spirit, the love of God, the love of presence in your life. That is the greatest power we have. The power of the great I am. Here's something I want you to say. To love everyone in each moment, to love everything in each moment, to let unconditional love show up, is to say this one. The power of the great I am is right here where I am. The power of the great I am is right here where I am. Right now. So if that is true, every situation can be changed. Everything can be changed, right? So I just want you to know that. And so so the things that I wanted to leave you with in terms of the action steps is to spend time daily, consciously connecting with love. However you do it. I do it through a meditation and prayer practice that I do before I even get out of bed. I start my day off connecting with spirit every single day. And those are affirmations that I say that I've passed out to you. And if you didn't get them, they're back there on the table back there. So a list of affirmations, each one of those I say, and actually more. I didn't want to load you up with a whole bunch, but those I think are specific and will get you where you want to go. So spend time daily connecting. Use that statement, the power of the great I am is right here where I am. Consciously use these words, I am. I am. And whatever comes behind that is what you will be, is what you will bring forward. So you be careful with the words I am. I am upset. I am mad. Whatever you're I aming is what you're bringing, right? I am. It's powerful. Yeah. Yes, it is powerful. The universe is abundant, so there is enough. You don't have to worry about I'm taking something from somebody else, or if I take this, I can't, and somebody else can't. That is false. The universe is abundant. And you cannot take what isn't yours anyway. All right? What's yours will come to you. What's yours will come to you. Period. What's yours is yours. And that's it. So activate the blessings of the universe by inviting the presence of God, Spirit, universe, the I am, into your hearts daily. And that's what those affirmations are for. Okay? Use those affirmations that I gave you, and whatever others that you have, take a look at those, and activate the blessings of God by inviting the presence into your hearts daily using those affirmations. See what a difference it'll make in your life. See what a difference it'll make in how you show up, what you think, how you believe. It'll build your faith because you'll have experiences that'll be different now as you use those I ams. Let me just give you this final quote here. Your greatest power is to show love, to receive love, and to be love. To show love, to receive love, to be love. That is the greatest power we have on this earth, and it will transform the planet. It will unite us in love. That's what it does. So I ask you to take a look at those, to see about taking that in. If you don't already have one, perhaps enhance your daily regimen, your daily, I call it a devotional. That may be upsetting to some people, but to me it's just a time of me being with Spirit and I together, and me consciously connecting. That's what you get to do. Consciously connect and say, this is who I am today. This is who I want to, what I want to be. I want to show up as the light of the world today, right now. That is who I am. And so it is. Namaste.